Okay, good afternoon, everyone. This afternoon, thank you so much for your 14 participants come to join with me for our lecture this afternoon. Actually, I'm not as the professor who gave you the lectures before, because actually I'm not the professional. So I just want to share with you for China agriculture development in these recent years, the situation for investment and cooperation with any other countries, and also our company, what we are doing, and what's our cooperation with other abroad countries units, because there has some companies and also the institutes and some universities, for example, UCR. So I just want to give you an introduction for the background. So the title for this afternoon is the International Training Workshop on Application and Demonstration of Intelligent Agriculture for Latin American countries, because this subject actually is our training workshops. So I want to introduce why we want to help this kind of the training workshop in Costa Rica, in UCR, and about the background of our company's cooperation, and why we want to establish actually this intelligent agriculture is not what we are doing actually, because we are only focusing on the breeding hybrid seeds of the horticulture varieties. But the intelligent agriculture nowadays is very famous and very useful all over the world. Especially in China, now we have, in these recent years, maybe we have thousands of companies who are established and focusing on the intelligent, such as the equipment and the machines and the technologies. And someone is doing very, very good. But someone is in these 2 or 3 years, they also failed. Yeah. So now I just want to share with you for this part of the information. This is the map of China. I think many of you are so familiar with this map. This is Chinese map. Actually, we are separated for different parts for the environment, just like the climates. It's very different. For example, actually you can see on these parts, there are so many of the deserts there, because it's the northwest in China. The climate there is, actually it's not, I cannot say it's bad, but the plant growth is not very good in there. And in there is much of the varieties is very dry. So there's not many kinds of the, just like the plants, the fruits or the crops cannot growing very good in there. Even some in the desert, there's nobody living in there. Yeah, some is we call is no people living, because it's not good for people to live there. Yeah, it's too much of the wind. Yeah, so no one can live in there. But you see that it's green. Many of the places there have the green color. Like places actually, it's the mainly cultivation area in China. Many of the fruits and many of the crops are growing in there. Also the horticulture varieties. in that part, we can see there has some 1 year, 1 harvest places. And some is 2 years, 3 harvest, or maybe 1 year, 2 harvest times. Actually, where are we is almost the middle of China. It's Anhui province. In that places, actually some places, actually we're separated from Changjiang River and Huanghe River. So we're in the middle. So some parts in the west, in the north, in that places only can harvest 1 year in 1 harvest time. But in the south, there can be 1 year, 2 harvest time. So it's different in China. Okay. So now I want to introduce about the status of agriculture in China. China is a country with a lot of farmers. I think you all know China has many of the populations. And the farmers is also a big group in China too. More than half of people living in the countryside. Even nowadays, there has many of the farmers or in the countryside peoples want to move into the center city. But also, actually, their background also is in the countryside. And in China, there has many of the good policies to protect the farmers, all the people who are living in the countryside. There are many of the good policies for them. Just for the land and for the, maybe for the, even for the giving birth for the babies or something. They have many good of the policies. And also, Chinese farmers play an important part in the country because we have too many people need to feed. So we need the farmers to grow the plants, the fruits, the vegetables, and the crops for us. There are 719 million agricultural population in China. And the national documents #1, actually this is every year published, maybe in January, every year. This is mainly the top 1 documents in our national policies. Because this is aimed to, okay, this year, what we will develop on which part is very important. We need focusing on. Is that means? So every year, the national documents #1 of the Chinese government were related to agriculture for many years. For the cooperation on the agriculture, or maybe for the, just like the clean agriculture development or something. Every year the subject is a little different, but always the agriculture development is the very key point to develop in every year. So agriculture also holds the balance in China. So agriculture also plays an important role in China. The contribution to the world of the Chinese agriculture, actually I want to make a compare with the global and China. Actually, we are feeding 21% people in the world, with only 9% farming lands in the world. So we are very less for the lands where can plant the crops, the varieties. But we are feeding 21% peoples. Just for example, the grain production in global, there has 1,900 million tons. But China, we have 440 billions. So this is its quantity, we have the 20% of the world. And the meat also, so in global is 150 million tons, but in China has 50 billion. This is the 30% of the world. And the fresh vegetables, actually this is not including the melon and the fruits, but I just checking the data and the published papers. Actually the melon and the fruits is also around 20% to 25% in the world. And also the vegetables is 16 billion. Yes, 6 billion. It has the 58% of the global in the world. So this is what Chinese contribution, the Chinese agriculture. About the agriculture development in these recent years, our government are focusing on the agriculture development by ourselves, and also have more cooperation with other developing countries and some of the in developing countries. So it's have different ways, but the same aim is to prove our agriculture technologies. So here I want to share 5 points with you. First is the grain production increased continuously for 9 years. The production of major agriculture products ranks first in the world for a long time. And some new business entities has become the main force. Actually, maybe 10 or almost 10 years ago, our government also focusing on the agriculture and give more support to the agriculture. Actually, it's to the universities or the institutes. Actually, it's not for the companies or the business entities. But now it's changed. I think it's from maybe 5 or 6 years ago. It's changed. So in China, we call the government must focusing on and give the support, the key support to the Chinese private companies more than the other institutes and the universities or research institutes. Because actually the institutes and the university also play an important role, but they are actually is at the basis research for us. For example, we are the company because we are facing on the marketing and facing on the cooperation maybe with the abroad, some abroad companies. So we know actually what is exactly happened or what exactly changed for the world, for example, the horticulture. So this is what we can get the very fresh information. But the institutes and the universities, actually they are doing the basis of the research. So they can give us the support for the research, then we can make this research to have a more good products. Then we can make these products open to the world. So this means we are facing on the demonstration, and what they are doing is focusing on the basis of the research. So this is the change of the Chinese agriculture development. Yes. So that's why the government support us to holding this kind of the training workshop in here, but not with the universities or the institutes. And also the third one is the development of sustainable and ecological agriculture become the hotspot. So that means, for example, just like the photovoltaic, this is also we can use the energy from the world, but it's cleaning. We can use this to getting our agriculture developed better. So, and also the cleaning technology or something just from Israel. Actually, we have cooperation with Israel maybe before 10 years or maybe 15 years ago. Yes, we invite them come to our country and to establish the cleaning technology and irrigation, such as irrigation, to get a new stage for Chinese agriculture development. So these recent years is developed very popular and actually is very useful for the developing in the future, because we need to use the less energies and less resources to getting a better development for our agriculture. And the fourth is the contribution rate of agriculture, science and technology exceeds 50%. So now agriculture is not the used to be. It's not only the farmers working in the field, but it's also including some science and technology, and also some like the photovoltaic or the intelligent machines the robots, such as these things, can combine with the traditional agriculture. And so our agriculture going abroad and become the national stage. Actually, this going abroad actually maybe is different with just like the developing countries, just like the American or the other countries. What we are doing this world, that means we go abroad and we have cooperation with the countries who need our resource, and also we can make the exchange we are getting a win-win situation to get what we need, and also we can give you what you need. This actually is on the same stage, on the same level to get the cooperation, but it's not we get things from you or feedback you nothing or maybe nothing. It's not what China's aim. Our international cooperation in the agriculture, our political environment, I want to see is the international cooperation in agriculture is highly valued by the highest decision makers. Actually, every year there has a group of people. We invite the top scientists and from the enterprises, the leaders or some people, they coming together to discuss, okay, maybe next year or next 5 years or next 10 years, what we can develop for Chinese agriculture, what we can have the more closer cooperation with which country maybe can getting us better and also can help the others. So actually, this kind of just like the meetings has happened in every year several times. Just like the leaders, they are talking about these subjects. Then the number one of the government affairs will come in for give us a guide, especially our agriculture companies, what to do in the next. Yes, and the second one is our overseas investment. The overseas investment is rapidly increasing. The amount of overseas investment is $18.3 billion until 2018. Yeah, so we are investment and also invite some abroad companies coming to invest in China also. The third one is the trademark. In 2018, the total exports and import value of agricultural products is 204.5 billion. China was the third largest agricultural trade market in the world and the largest importer of the agricultural products. Actually, I think you also know we already import the Costa Rican's beef, fruit, milk from Costa Rica to China also. And nowadays, I think maybe in last year we was already have many of the groups come to Costa Rica to discuss for the seafood. Yeah, import from here to China also. And the fourth, the foreign aid, continued to increasing the agriculture foreign aid on the principle of win-win outcome. This is what our thinking is getting a win-win situation. So starting a large number of agricultural technology demonstration center projects in Asia, Africa, and Latin American countries. And actually, I just want to share with you, now I'm not instead of the Chinese government, I just want to share the information what's in my opinion. Actually in Asia and Africa, especially in Africa, what we are doing actually is not very successful. Because we are talking with Africa government many years ago. Actually, we have the support to have the cooperation with Africa for many years. This is maybe I think it's the first area, first places we get the international cooperation. Actually now, this development is not only a cooperation project. Actually, it's only support. For that, we just support them for the railway and some of the foods, the lands, and we also help them to build the greenhouse, but we support them for many of the greenhouse for the horticulture, for the crops. But now we go in there to check the situation, the development of these parts. Actually, there's many of the greenhouses wasted. It's no one to use. I think maybe it's because to use it can get more investment. So maybe they're afraid to use that. And also maybe we investment too much, and actually Africa maybe do not need so much of that support. So let's give us Chinese government more investment and more waste in there. So, and also now the African government also contact with China to want we give them more different parts of the support also. So now the Chinese government is now thinking and want to do the just like analysis whether they really need it and whether it can have a good development in the future, but not only in these 2 or 3 years, but it also need maybe in 5 or 10 years need to develop the good. There has the good techniques can support this in their country. Yeah. So, but in Latin America these years we are focusing on, and our government is doing a lot of job. They think for cooperation with Latin Americans. Actually, Latin Americans people is different with Africa. Actually, they are not the similar parts. And also in Latin American the countries, they have many of the good resources, and the people and their education background is better than Africa. So maybe we can have a good situation to move on. Not only to focusing on the Chinese people need to come every time for helping them develop every time, but we can come and to show them how to do the development in their own country. So the people stay in Latin America, they can do it better. They can do it better than African people. Yeah. So now there has many of the projects and many of the fundings from China government to have support to Latin American countries' cooperation. And the scientific and technical cooperation on Chinese agriculture, we have more than 60 overseas joint labs, and international scientific and technological cooperation centers have been established already. And also thousands of foreign agriculture experts work in China for academic exchange every year. And also now there has a program, it's very famous, and there has many of the professors or some higher education students also go to China. So now I just want to share with you there, you can check on the Ministry of Science and Technology Department on the website. There has many kinds of the application. If you have if you are interested, go to China for the exchange. There has that funding can support you to there. For example, the China and Latin American young scientists exchange. This is not only focusing on the agriculture. Actually, this is focusing on different parts. Also, just like the technology and the different computers or some things, many of that. Only if you apply, and there has the Chinese companies or the institutes have these needs. So the Chinese government will support you. You can go to there for 6 months for exchange. You can choose. You can also work in the companies, and you can also work in the institutes. Yeah. So this is a kind of project. Actually, we already started this last year. Professor Christina, he's from the India. Yes, so he's joining us in last year, last May until last November. She was working in our company for the in our labs for the horticulture seeds analysis and breedings for this part. And also this year we also have one student. Yes, he will also go to our companies in this year. Yes, instead of the UCR. And also a young lady also is our participant, but she's not coming today. Stephanie also from India, also go to our companies. So it's already accepted. Both of them are already accepted by the Chinese government. And agriculture institutions and enterprises through major international joint research projects. The project is very kind. That's just I say it is only one kind. So you can search, there has many kinds of that. So of Chinese government to carry out global agriculture technical exchange. So now Chinese government for the international cooperation, especially with Latin Americans, are very open. So you can search many of this and select one if you are interested in. And the general overview of Anhui agriculture, actually I want to share with you the cultivable land. We have more than 4 million hectares. And we have 49 million of the agriculture population. And our main crops is the wheat, corn, rice, peanuts, cotton, tea, and vegetables. Our cultivated is I just say that some parts is 1 year for one harvest, and some is 1 year for 2 harvests. And our yearly average temperature is around 16 degrees centigrade. Yes, so we have in here you only have the rainy season and the dry season. So in there we have 4 seasons. Yeah, the summer and the autumn and the spring and the winter is different. So the winter is very cold there. Yeah. And now actually I want to share with you for a video. This video is introduced for Anhui. You can see to check this.
Anhui lies in the east of central China, rearing 70 million people in an area of 140,000 square kilometers. It boasts both splendid ancient civilization and energetic modern life. Mount Hongshan, sea of clouds, legendary pines, and propitious life of Buddha. The unique natural sceneries here attract tourists, domestic and abroad. As early as in the 16th century, the ancestors living on Mount Hongshan started to move out for business in the spirit of honesty, creativity, and industriousness. They traveled between China and Eurasian countries, forming an internationally famous business group called Huisheng. Mount Jianghuai, Mount Tianju, Mount Qiyun, beautiful Anhui, a land of wonder. Anhui boasts not only famous mountains, but also great rivers. The Yangtze River, Huihe River, and Qimen River flow across the province. As a part of the Yangtze River Economic Belt and Yangtze River Delta City Cluster, Anhui is also one of the most open and innovative areas in China. Honored as the granary of China, the riverlands of Huihe River are also vital energy bases of China. Jianghuai Lake, the fifth largest freshwater lake in China, attracts tourists and sports fans all over the world. And the provincial capital of Hefei has become a flourishing and fashionable city. Philippe, a French businessman, has settled down here.
Depuis 7 ans, avec ma famille, nous avons décidé de vivre à Hefei, parce que Hefei est une ville qui s'agrandit beaucoup et qui évolue beaucoup. C'est devenu une très belle ville. C'est pour ça que nous aimons Hefei.
Abundant with local specialties, Anhui is a main area of tea production. 4 of the 10 famous types of Chinese tea are from Anhui, including Qimei black tea, which is exported to many places, including Europe and America. Chinese painting and calligraphy, employing writing paper and ink sticks, enjoy a history of more than 1,000 years. And Anhui is hometown to the 4 treasures of the study: writing brush, ink stick, ink slab, and paper. Hui Opera is the origin of the Chinese national opera, Peking Opera. And the dulcet Huangmei Opera and cheerful flower drum lantern dance are welcomed among audiences at home and abroad. Anhui has a tradition of innovation and creativity. Over 2,000 years ago, a king in Anhui invented tofu. About 1,800 years ago, the famous doctor Wang created 5 animal exercises based on animal habits to build up the human body. China's rural reform started here 40 years ago. Today, Anhui is leading science and technology. Following Shanghai, the construction of the Hefei Comprehensive National Science Center marks an important position of Anhui in the great picture of national innovation. Anhui has become a crucial force participating on behalf of China in global scientific and technological cooperation. High-end industries, including voice recognition, new display, intelligent manufacturing, integrated circuit, and new energy vehicles have become the competitive edge of Anhui. It now ranks first in household appliances and automobile exports in China for many years consecutively. The innovative Anhui is drawing attention from all over the world. More than 70 overseas Fortune Global 500 enterprises have invested in Anhui. 16 years ago, Kerr started its first factory in Hefei, and 10 years later, Oliver came to this city.
I'm here because of the developing high technology and the competitive market, and Anhui is our second home.
An open Anhui is embracing the world. Plays a positive role in the Belt and Road Initiative, accelerating exchanges and cooperations with other countries to build itself into an ideal inland province for opening up. President Xi Jinping visited Anhui in April 2016, and he made the following comment: Anhui is a good place. He believes Anhui has foundation in green development, gains momentum for further reform and inland opening up, and enjoys an edge in innovation-driven industrial upgrading. Anhui is determined to blaze a new trail in building a moderately prosperous society in all aspects, and to build a beautiful Anhui featuring innovative, coordinated, green, open, and shared development. This is China's Anhui, the world's Anhui.
I work here. La magie du tofu.
Ich habe viel gelernt. One-way opera was love at first sight.
Here we have a great Chinese food.
We love Anhui! 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 Variety! Variety! Anhui! Variety! We love Anhui!
Okay, so I saw no one sleeping now, right? Okay, so this is the introduction videos for Anhui. So I think you already have a self-view for Anhui. So I really hope if you have the opportunity, have the chance, can visit Anhui and contact with me or with our colleagues. We will invite you to taste Anhui tofu. Okay, so that is for Anhui, because we are coming from Anhui. And we are located in Anhui for the capital city, Hefei. So that's why I take these videos to show you how is Anhui and how is Hefei. So now we just back to our introduction, only focusing on our agriculture. So in 2018, our food crops is 7.6 million hectares and 37.1 million tons. And our vegetables is almost 1 million hectares, have less than 30 million tons. This is our province. Anhui science and technology development, I just want to say some simple numbers to share with you. We are the National Integrated Science Center, and we are also the pilot province of National Technological Innovation Engineering. We have 109 universities in Anhui province, and also we have more than 4,000 research and development organizations, and 3 national labs, and also 5 state key labs. About our agriculture, science and technology park at the national level, we are the 16th, and we have 39 agriculture, engineering, technology research, and also the agriculture, science, technology contribution rate is 52% for improving farmers' income. Actually, it's very hard to calculate how much of the agriculture companies in Anhui province, because there are some smaller ones, just like the family companies, is not calculated into the government numbers. So I cannot share with you the correct numbers, but I can share you one one numbers. That is, in Anhui province we have 10,000 family farms. Yes, 10,000. So the enterprises is the companies is more. The private companies is very more. Is too much. About our international training workshop, actually this is start from, I think it's around the year in 2000. Actually, at the first, we only aimed to the Asia countries because it's very close to China. And we actually, I think Chinese government do not know whether we can invite too much from far from China, the countries, people can join us to attend this kind of training. But after almost 10 years, on this stage, China is famous on holding this kind of training workshop because it's totally free for every participants. Actually, the participants only need to pay for their tickets. And besides that, all the cost is covered by the government. So there are many of the participants all over the world want to join us. Also concluding some developing countries just as Canada and the USA, but this project is not open to them. It's only focusing on the developing countries. Yeah, so from Asia countries, then we just move to such as Latin Americans. Actually, our company is the first one to have this kind of cooperation to establish this kind of the training workshop with Latin Americans. Because the others, maybe some is in Africa, it's very far, and most of them is in Asian countries. So this is sponsored by the Ministry of Science and Technology of the People's Republic of China. And the organizer, most of that is organized by the universities because they have the teachers and also have the classrooms, so they don't need to pay more fee of this. Because every training workshop is only accept 20 participants. So if the university actually they are not selling their own products, so their funding is limited. So even they can get the support by the most, I call it the ministry in China most. So they only can get how much the most give to them. They can use this part of the money to organize this kind of the training workshop. But I think you saw, actually today we are only 14, but actually we are not accept only 20 participants, we're more. So that means the extra people, the 20 is accepted by the most. They can give the fundings, but the extra people will be paid by our company itself. Yes. So because the fundings in the most are also limited, because every year they support around 100 training workshops. It's not only the agriculture, many of the parts, many projects of that. For agriculture, maybe it's around 20 to 30. So agriculture is a part, but actually it's not all supported by the most. Okay, the target of this kind of workshop, where the government want to meeting the commitment of the state leaders about strengthening the intergovernmental cooperation in science and technology. Because we opened, we can share with every country's participants, then they can get this information, this feedback to their countries. So maybe we can start a new country's cooperation to through this kind of the training workshop. And the government are promoting the communication of scientific and technological talents between China and other developing countries. And also training the technical personnel for other developing countries for development, science and technology, and industrializations, and promote the scientific and technological achievement of China to help domestic technology companies and research institutions going abroad to have cooperation with the others. So our company started this training workshop since 2012. So now it's already 7 years. It's 7 years. So actually we really built the cooperation to establish the cooperation with some of the countries for the business. Some is for the government cooperation, some is for the only company to company for the products, the demonstration. And this is what we are doing, actually, is in China. We are the only company in Anhui province who gains the qualification from the most and to organize the training workshop for developing countries. So these 7 years, there have 183 participants from 23 countries joining us to attend our training workshops. In March 2018, just last year, on the base of holding 7 training workshops in China, we were held the demonstration and promotion of vegetable new varieties and technologies for Latin American countries in Costa Rica, in the same places. So actually in that year is 109 training workshops supported by most. And there has only 8 facing on the abroad, going abroad to holding this kind of training. So we are one of them. And last year we have 8 countries, 34 participants joining us. Actually, some you already know that some of them, actually this year they come again to attend our trainings because the subject is different. This is our company. Actually, that is located in Hefei, our office there, but it's not our farms. We are the first share listed in News 3 Bros. This is a kind of listed company's name in China. So we are the first one of Chinese vegetable seeds industry. And our company actually, now we can call it JH Seed. We are founded in 2002. It's a private seed company focusing on the horticulture seeds and developing new varieties for the vegetable seeds. All of them are breeding by ourselves and selling also by ourselves. So we advanced the cultivation techniques and also we getting the business cooperation both inland and abroad. And we're providing the agriculture technical trainings to the farmers. This is some main award we gained, such as the National High-Tech Enterprises and the National Engineering Research Center. This is all given by the Chinese government. And also such as the China and Latin American Joint Research Center for fruit and vegetable breeding and seed production. Actually, this is with cooperation with the Melabin company. So this we gained this award. And this is some data, so I will not to introduce everyone. And also, okay, I want to say because we are also the provincial postdoctor stations and also the academy stations. So I think we also invite the abroad who want to have the postdoctor degree and the experience in China. Actually, we are open. We also have this opportunity. If you want, you can also contact with us. Maybe you can join us to have the postdoctor degrees with us for the horticulture. This picture is our chairman. I think you already saw him in the opening ceremony, sitting in front. Actually, many people see that he is looks like more farmers than company leaders, because actually, no, he looks very like only a farmer. Yes, not who can establish a company, not a leader, not a chairman. Actually, because he's working in the field for many times. So actually, he is working on breeding for 33 years. and he is granted by the national and the provincial government, such as the National Excellent Science and Technology Workers and the National 10,000 Talent Program, the top 100 entrepreneurs in China's leader. And also he has joined the special allowance from the national government in whole his life. Okay, our company is used the biotechnology and the traditional breeding techniques to breed the new varieties. We are focusing on the watermelon, melon, pepper, pumpkin, cucumber, squash, and tomato, and corn beans. So, such as these, the horticulture varieties. And we arrange more than 3 times testing in different national conditions in every year. So over 500 different varieties, and the materials, such as the male plants and female plants, have tested every year. So more than 200 kinds of valuable breeding new varieties and the new seeds resources can be selected. During these 16 years, we developed independent 3 research farmers and promote more than 200 new varieties. These 3 research farmers is located in different places of China because the climate is different. So we are in different places. We are focusing on the different countries, and different varieties. So our new varieties is more than 900,000 hectares. So our company has assumed the national, provincial, and other key agricultural research projects over 32 items. And we also have 12 items international cooperation projects. This is which also support by the Chinese government. Many of that is from the most. This is the pictures of our farms. Some is most of them is the research and the demonstration basis. It's located in different places. So more than 108 hectares, because here is not doing the demonstration. Mostly it's doing the research for selecting the new varieties. And also we have the demonstration bases, also like in Pakistan, and also in Costa Rica, in Guanacaste with Melopin. And also we have the demonstration base also in India, because we have the business with them. We have the cooperation with Asia and South Asia countries from 2005. We carry out the cooperation on efficient cultivation techniques, research and development of new varieties. So, because we already promotion for nearly 30 varieties in that countries, so we just get the trust from their government and their companies or the farmers. So we also have the support by almost like 12 items for the technical specifications. And also published some of the national and provincial standards. And take the national, provincial, international technology cooperation project, almost 20 items. This is the picture. We are in Pakistan, Costa Rica, India. Yes, some places in India. Since 2005, we just have the cooperation with Southeast Asia and South Asian market to our vegetable varieties. And doing the research and development in different their habits, their consumption habits. So after many years, we get the trust from them. So now we have the stable market in Pakistan and in India. For example, our melon varieties has 30% market share in Pakistan. This is our pictures is what we're doing in Pakistan. And also we invite technicians from Pakistan who is doing the breedings cooperation with us for the black skin watermelons. So he is also the only one agriculture experts get the first prize in Anhui province. And that picture is in Costa Rica with the Misate and also in Mark. This is, we also actually we signed agreement with INA also, and also the National Agricultural Research Center of Egypt, and also Chiang Mai University of Thailand, and also with Israel for the clean technologies. This is cooperation with Costa Rica. So in 2012 to 2014, our company had cooperation with Medellin to build a research and demonstration base in Costa Rica for new varieties demonstration. The varieties, what we are doing is focusing on the melon and the watermelon. So now we have some of the other varieties, but we start from the melon, especially the muskmelon. So we have two varieties. In the beginning, the name is Red Lucky and the Jianghuai honey #1. Depends on the better disease resistance. The yards increased over 30% than before. So these varieties we also produce in here, but now it's almost Jianghuai honey #7, right? So Adonai is also the stuffs there, so he knows the varieties. So now it's almost the 7. In October 2016, we have established new companies in here, named as JH Biotech. This company was found mainly engaged in variety breeding and demonstration for melon and vegetables. Now the company gets the permission for establish a free zone. This free zone is focusing on agriculture, so it's also in Guanacaste. We already accepted by the president of Costa Rica. We can build this kind of the free zone. Since then, we have become the first Chinese company to establish the agricultural free zone in Costa Rica. So on Sunday, if you go to see the Medellin, you will see our places there and our varieties. Okay. The first phase of the free zone project construction area is 1.6 hectares, including our research and demonstration center, smart agriculture demonstration and hybrid seed production base, variety selection demonstration base, and seed cleaning and processing packing factory, and seed storage and other facilities. So here is our designed pictures, because at the end of last year we just get all the permissions can import all the materials from China. So now the first branch is already arrived in last week. Yeah, last week. So now we plan in April we will start to build this kind of the center. So here is a small, very short video can share with you. This is when it's finished, what it looks like. Okay, just want to show you what we will have maybe next year. So maybe next year we also have this kind of the training workshop. Maybe we can help in Guanacaste because there has the training rooms there. And also we have 4 labs there. Yes, so we can have the seed testing and the molecular research there, and also the soil test. For the fruit test, many kinds of the research will establish there. Okay, so this is our new companies here, JH Biotech, the website. There has many of the research and also the collaboration and also our varieties. So in April 2017, we sent in breeding experts to guide the breeding workers. So that picture in the right of the top, you can see our technicians coming to went to Malabin to teach them how to make the pollination, to make the seed production. So we also we want to only have seed production here, and also packing and also selling abroad, or maybe also selling in the local farmers to have more good varieties here. And in October 2017, we also signed an agreement with INDA. I just see that this is focusing on the vegetable and fruits crops seed production, and also to select which is suitable for Costa Rica. This job is doing a better job to help the local farmers to developing good and also have the competing varieties for them. Last year in February, Christina, I just said from India, also went to our company to join the China Latin American Young Scientist Exchange Program. So if you have interest in, I think you can select in the website yourself. And also if you have any doubts or want to join this, you can contact with us also. Yeah. This is an opportunity. You can walk in here and also you can know better of China. Okay, so this is also happening last year. In last year, the October, also the Chinese most leaders, international cooperation director visit Costa Rica, want to push cooperation between China and Costa Rica from the science and technology parts. And in the middle, that is from Anhui provincial group. They coming to UCR, have the visit here, and also to recommend many of the Anhui province universities and institutes have more cooperation with UCR together. So at that time, they already shared some information with Victor and Louis to say maybe they can have the students exchange with China, so they can help you to contact with Chinese, with Anhui provincial universities or the national universities to get the exchange and get the fundings. So on the top, the third one is the leaders from Mark and also with Christina together. They just just visit the Anhui, not Anhui, the National Agriculture Institute. Yes, for you can see that is the what we call it for English. It's the plant factory. They are not only plant in the soil. They just plant. You can see there are too many of the platform for their growing the vegetables. So it's very cleaning, yeah, and very fashion. So they are very like the places. So in this year, April, the minister also will visit China also. So they just told me they also want to visit that places to see if it is possible can be built a similar one in Costa Rica. So the downline is the Christina in our labs, because we have a molecular labs to select the new varieties and to analyze which variety is not hybrid, to help the farmers to get in the valuable seeds. So she was there for 6 months to learn how to rent this kind of the labs. So they use these technologies to India. The last one is she just there invited by the Anhui provincial government to show them how to make the tea. It's the tea culture. So, okay, so that's the information I just shared with you, some of the parts. So if you have questions or maybe something you want to know deeply, you can ask me. If I know, I can share with you the information. Okay.
You said start of the presentation that cooperation with Asia and Africa wasn't going well, and you spoke a little bit about it, about they could be afraid of using technology or giving opinions. I didn't get it. What would be the reasons? Could you explain it a little bit more?
Okay. No, I'm not means we don't want to share or we don't want to give them the technicals or something. We give them, but actually they do not have the person who have a better background for the education. They can know it better, and if we teach them and they can know how to arrange it in the future, then it can make it better by themselves, because China cannot support you for the instructions, but cannot not give you the peoples all the years staying there. They can only maybe stay there for 1 or 2 years to teach you, how to rent a farm or how to use this greenhouse to make for example, the grafting or select vegetables. But Chinese technicians cannot be living there for the whole life. So there must be, for example, the African people, there must have the same technicians can have the equal background, such as the Chinese technicians. Then they can do it by themselves. But when the Chinese technicians back, maybe after 1 year or 2 years, nobody's there. They are also have the good persons who can doing the jobs or arrange all the jobs to handle the jobs there. So many of the greenhouse is empty and it's wasted. The plastic is also the halls. So it's nothing grows in there. So that means the instruction is also it's not successful. It's wasting in there. Yeah, that is what I'm talking. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, if you don't have, we can have 10 minutes for a break. After that, my colleagues, Jack, will introduce some suitable varieties in Latin American countries, in Costa Rica and other near countries. Yes, have a recommend for you. Okay? Okay, thank you.